What's going on, everyone? Episode 2 here with Jared Jackson. Ran a little bit long. We were nearing about 2 hours. We just kept talking and talking. So what we're going to do is split it into 2 different parts, 2 episodes, upload them both at the same time, and we're just going to get right into it. So let's go. You ready? Intro music fades out. What was that?
Make fun of I was at work. I'm a working man.
No, that's probably just gonna make it.
Okay.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Jack and Sav Podcast. We're here today with myself, Jack, of course, and special guest Jared Jackson, who is our resident NBA expert. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Again, I promise we're not a sports podcast. The next one will not be sports related for all of you who are not sports fans. But for now, we're going to talk about the NBA, and more specifically, the draft, how the finals affected LeBron and Steph's legacy, and a couple other random topics. So we're going to start with the draft. Ben Simmons went first overall to the Sixers. Anybody got any thoughts on that other than good pick?
No, it was the right pick. I mean, you can't pass up a guy like this. He needs to work on scoring a little bit, but
I don't think he needs to work on scoring.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jared. You haven't introduced yourself. You're podcast first.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jared Jackson.
Heck yeah,
I'm
you are.
resident NBA expert, as Sav just introduced me.
That's me.
But
All right.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I think Ben Simmons doesn't need to work on scoring. I think if we're being specific, he needs to work on shooting.
shooting, okay.
Okay.
How do you score? You shoot.
Or dunk. Or
He's
layup.
6'8". He's got an NBA body. Jumps out of the
Tell me
gym.
more about that body.
Yeah, he plays just like LeBron, but not as LeBron, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I'm not. He deserved to go first. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, he's the best player in the draft. Best player in the draft.
I agree.
In a weak draft.
In a weak draft, you're right.
Here's the thing. We're only doing the lottery picks, by the way.
Okay.
We're not going all the way through. Here's the thing. I think Simmons is the better player out of Simmons and Ingram, but I heard this somewhere else. But I also agree with it. If Ingram goes first, I think Simmons gets a little bit of a chip on his shoulder that he didn't go first, and he was supposed to, and he might play a little bit better. But that's just me.
That's anyone, though.
I think.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like he was he went to LSU. That was kind of weird, and then
His family friend was the head coach.
yeah, you're right. But and he drops out of school, which it's not normal, but you can't blame him for it because
Yeah.
he is going to the NBA. Anyway, go ahead. Brandon Ingram, good pick. More importantly, let's talk about the Lakers.
Well, they had to fill a Kobe void somehow, and they picked one of the best scorers.
What,
in the
Nick Young
draft.
wasn't going to do it?
No, I like Ingram is a good fit anywhere that needs a scorer.
I agree.
LA needs a scorer. But so does Boston. And I don't really get why Boston...
He wasn't falling to 3.
I don't get why Boston didn't trade up.
I feel like they were trying to trade their 3 pick until they picked. I mean,
Which is why I don't get why they didn't trade up the 2. What? They had the 2nd and 15th pick.
I don't know, but I mean, nothing was released about it. But I feel like they were trying to trade the 3 pick until it was their turn to pick.
But if you're gonna trade for a 2 pick, you got to give up a lot.
Exactly.
If you're trying to give up the
you need to give up the 3 pick in Avery Bradley or Jay Crowder or somebody, and that's not worth Brandon Ingram.
I think the Lakers take 3, 15, and maybe a second round in the future.
I don't know.
Because they get the 3. They get Chris
I don't know, but
Dunn.
Brandon Ingram's their future, man. I mean, D'Angelo Russell's not solid there. He might be traded. That's what I'm his stability there.
Listen, D'Angelo Russell's 6'5". Some say he's a 2. He's a better 2 than a 1. You move him to the 2. You
I
trade
disagree.
down to
No.
3. You get Chris Dunn at 3 as a true point.
I disagree completely. He's the best. If you look at his tape and you look at the passes this guy makes and the way he plays with the ball in his hands, he in 2 years he's gonna be amazing.
This is why you're our resident NBA.
The worst he can do is offer the trade. Though Danny Ainge didn't even call Mitch Kupchak.
Yeah.
They didn't even talk about trading those picks. I mean, Danny Ainge has to try something.
I think
I
they were
like I'm saying,
they
though,
were
it's
trying, but
I'm thinking they're more focused on Boogie or Jimmy Butler or somebody else trying to get the 3 pick away for a better.
They're not going to get Jimmy Butler.
the
I know, and that's why they didn't trade it. That's why it didn't happen.
the thing people forget is they were 4th in the East. They're not a bad team.
Not by a
if you
stretch.
give up if you just had a really good season, why would you try and give away a lot of things to try and build for the future when you're already good right now?
Who's going to beat LeBron on the Celtics? Isaiah Thomas can't do it by himself.
That's where I was going. Isaiah Thomas is a sixth man on the championship team.
I don't agree with that. He's a scorer. He needs somebody else to help him, though.
I'm not saying that he can't start at point guard, but I'm saying if you don't get a point guard upgrade, which that's not their top priority, you need another big scorer, like you guys are saying. I agree.
He's the Pau Gasol of point guards. He's a great player. He needs someone to take him.
That's a good count.
He needs someone to take him there. Pau had Kobe. Isaiah Thomas has Avery Bradley, Jared Sullinger, maybe Boogie. I don't.
So that transition's good to the Boston third pick.
I really like that. Boston third pick. I'll lead this one off. They shouldn't have picked Jaylen Brown, but that's just me.
I'll get into this later.
I like Jaylen Brown. Sure, he's a nice guy. Good family. Sure, his mom cooks some good food.
He's really smart.
He's not the third overall pick. He's a lottery pick. He's not a third overall pick.
Boston did terrible.
I feel like okay, but here. This is what I'm thinking. You said who's going to beat LeBron? Do you remember how Stanley Johnson played against LeBron?
Nice.
Yeah.
He's like the same exact body type.
Lockdown.
He's 6'8". I think he's 230, something like that. He's strong. He's got the NBA body. And he can score. He's a good off the ball guy.
Again,
so Isaiah Thomas, throw him the ball, or Isaiah Thomas in transition, toss him the ball, dunk.
One reason I'm very excited that we're doing this, and one reason that we're doing another NBA show is because Jared knows so much about it. And Jared, you can't see him, but he's doing hand motions, and he's really passionate about this, and that's why, again, he is our resident NBA expert. Go ahead, Jack.
All right, listen. The definition of shutting down LeBron is LeBron getting 28 and 6. You shut down LeBron, and he just passes to K-Love, or he passes to Kyrie, or they go inside to Tristan. The Cavs have so many weapons that you're not going to shut down all of them.
But that's the thing.
Jay Crowder's the best defender on the Celtics. They don't
I'm going to have to disagree with that.
Who is?
Avery Bradley.
Now, there's no stats or anything in front of us or anything, so that's just opinion for you. That doesn't matter. Either way, I don't think locking down LeBron's the top priority.
Here's what I think. Who would you rather have beat you? The best player on the team, or make him have a bad day, make him have a rough day, and make the other people beat him?
There you go. Make J.R. Smith hit shots.
Yeah, make the other...
That's not a hard thing to do. I mean, J.R. Smith is not bad.
Right.
Okay, but who's better?
Who
would you rather have?
That's what he said.
If you're a defender, who would you rather have shoot? LeBron James or Kevin Love? Who would you rather?
Well, Kevin Love.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that.
I'm not saying shoot the ball. I'm saying just, who do you want to score 25?
I'd rather have LeBron score 25 than Kevin Love, because LeBron's good for 20. So 20.
Who are you gonna put more defense on, LeBron or K-Love?
LeBron.
Exactly. That's the point.
I don't know.
And I think this pick really helps them, defensive.
By no means was it a bad pick. It's just there's so many other better things they could have done with the
They
pick.
didn't get worse.
I agree.
But other teams got better as to where Boston's not moving out of that 4 spot. Boston's staying maybe 3 or 4.
Unless they trade Jaylen Brown.
I don't see that.
I don't see that happening either.
I don't think you can trade a three pick. I mean, you can do it, but I don't know what exactly can.
But
you
what
get?
happens when they're calling all these teams about trades or whatever?
But what exactly?
One team. I'm not saying they're going to do it now, but I mean, especially right after he was drafted, a lot of people were saying Jaylen Brown might not be a Celtic in an hour. What if they're on the phone? What if they didn't want to take Jaylen Brown? That's what I'm thinking. It's just conspiracy theory here, tinfoil hat. This probably isn't real. But what if they don't want to take Jaylen Brown and they're whoever, give me a player, Jimmy Butler. They're with the Bulls on the phone with the Bulls for Jimmy Butler, and the Bulls go, "We want Jaylen Brown. We don't have the trade figure out yet. So why don't you take Jaylen Brown? We can work it out later." And that's what they did. What if that's what happened?
You go.
The GM of the Bulls escaping my mind right now. I forgot his name,
I
but
don't know his name.
He wants the house for Jimmy Butler. You're sending 3 players.
I just used Butler as an example.
No,
I'm not saying who it was, but
so. I mean, you at least maybe want to draft someone a little better than Jaylen Brown in the midst of Chris Dunn.
No, all I'm saying is
trade bait.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, go ahead, Jared. Your eyes are very
well. I
was
just saying, if just specifically on the Jimmy Butler, because I know Celtics really, really wanted him.
Again, that was just an example.
Yeah, I know.
I
but
know.
Still,
it's a good example.
He was on the top of the Celtics list.
Yeah,
and I think especially now that Derrick Rose is gone. they knew they were going to trade him before the draft. Like you don't just come out of nowhere and say, "Hey, we're going to trade Derrick Rose today." So if they knew they were going to trade him, and they need a point guard, right?
Wait. What did you say? What about Derrick Rose?
They
If
traded him.
They traded him the day before the draft.
Yeah.
oh, okay, so he's gone.
Yeah.
So the Bulls need a point guard, don't they?
Yeah.
Why not draft the best
They
point
have Jose Calderon and Jerry and Grant. So, yes, they need a point
Why
guard.
not draft the best point guard in the draft
I agree with you.
and use that as bait?
I mean, the 3 pick in Avery Bradley who says no for Jimmy Butler. Really? I mean, that's a good trade
that's
for
a
I
great
know.
trade. But
Chicago wants more than that. I'm
Maybe-
sorry,
but
but
I know. No, obviously they do.
maybe Butler's just that valuable. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess we'll see.
We good on that?
Yeah.
4 pick, Mr. Dragon Bender, whatever his name is, to the Phoenix Suns.
Listen, I don't mind him. I mean, I know ESPN, when you're watching the draft, they throw up a bunch of flashy tapes of these foreign guys.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, foreign guys, just a point. There was more foreign guys taken in this draft than any other draft in history.
I'm not surprised by that. Listen, the
Anyway, go
dude averaged 5 points in the Israeli basketball league. He averaged 5 points a game in Israel. That's not the Spanish league, boys. That's not anything big. That's the Israeli. I don't like the pick. Phoenix has a boatload of guards. Take Chris Dunn as trade bait. I mean, or just Chris Dunn.
Go ahead.
There's 3 can't miss prospects in this draft. 2 of them went 1 and 2. Simmons and Ingram. The other one's Chris Dunn, in my opinion, at least. And Phoenix just said, no, we want a big guy who scores 5 points against mediocre basketball players. I don't get the pick. But, I mean, maybe they have plans for him. Maybe they're on the phone with other teams who want a big. But, I mean, they need a big. Don't get me wrong. But there's other bigs there to take.
Here's my thing is we'll touch on this later with the draft winners and losers, but just real quick to think on, they took Bender, power forward / center. He could play either. And they traded to the Kings for Marquise Chris, who's also a power forward. So they're set there, and that leaves what's going to happen to Tyson Chandler.
All right. So my thing with Bender, obviously, I think he's the easy comparison is Kristaps Porzingis because they're both 7 foot.
They look very similar.
They're both stretched, or they both can step out and shoot the 3, and they're both from overseas. And I think last year Porzingis really showed America that everybody's not Darko.
There you go.
So if you pick a European guy, it doesn't mean he's automatically going to be a bust.
And I think guy's not gonna be
I think a lot of the NBA nowadays, not even nowadays, just overall, is just people pick potential over production. And that's how it's always been. That's why all these guys come out after their first year. Instead of, you don't see these 4-year guys getting drafted after they lead their team to the championship, and they don't get drafted. So these teams pick potential over production. And the thing is, like, he's still young. I think he's still 18, like 18, 19. Yeah. And when Porzingis came over, he was, I think, 21 or something like that. So he only played 13 minutes on a.
He's the Porzingis god, dude. What?
They're an Israeli team, but they're one of the best Israeli teams in this league.
It's a best team, not necessarily worst player situation, just maybe not the best player.
So I think he's really young. So why play this really young guy when you have all these other veterans in this Israeli team? That's why I don't think he got any minutes.
Nice. And
I think right now he's not. I don't think he'll be good this year like Porzingis was. He's not going to be like that type of person. But I think 2 years, 3 years maybe, you might want to watch out for him.
Jack, you had something?
I just think Kristaps. When the Knicks drafted Kristaps,
nobody was happy.
I was maybe one of 2 people in the universe that thought that's not a bad.
Just something to point out: they both went at 4.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Kristaps had numbers though.
Yeah,
that's all. I know. You brought up a good point. Age is a factor. The Israeli team was one of the best. They're probably like the Thunder of the Israeli basketball league. 5 points in a not competitive league. Minutes are an issue, but if you're NBA ready, you're scoring more than 5 points a game.
But if you're only playing 13 minutes a game, how are you going to score?
5 points isn't all that bad.
But if you're good enough to play in the NBA, you're showing the coaches you need minutes.
Regardless, I don't think he should have been the 4 pick either. Moving on.
I just don't get why they skipped Chris Dunn.
Just for the record, I'm very excited for the Porzingis versus the Airbender matchup.
You call him the Airbender?
It's gonna catch on, dude. It's gonna catch on. Number 5, Chris Dunn to Minnesota was interesting because everybody thought they might be trading the pick. There's a lot of Jimmy Butler rumors. There was 2. There was so what I heard was that the Bulls wanted I'm sorry. Minnesota offered the 5 pick and Rubio for Jimmy Butler. The Bulls countered with LaVine and the 5 pick for Jimmy Butler, and the Minnesota said no. I'm not sure if the second part's true, but if it is, Minnesota's not very smart unless they really think highly of Zach LaVine, who hasn't been producing all that much. Regardless, they took Chris Dunn. They have another point guard. They have to move Rubio or LaVine now, right? Like, you'd think.
Well, in my opinion, I don't think Zach LaVine's a point guard.
I agree with you. Nobody agrees with me on that. Go ahead.
I don't think he's a. I mean, maybe in this era of basketball where you have like the John Walls and the Russell Westbrooks, where your point guards are
not a point guard.
jumping out of the gym, slamming on everybody. But I just think he'd be, especially with a Ricky Rubio, came out of the European League, by the way.
Not the Israeli League, by the way.
So one of the best passers and playmakers for his teammates in the league. And they could trade him and get something valuable for him, because I really think Chris Dunn is the future, especially you can have Chris Dunn,
I like that.
Zach LaVine, Andrew Wiggins, and Cat.
I feel like Rubio just doesn't fit with that team anymore because they're very young and all very talented. He's 30? I don't know how old he is.
But then again, Rubio can put his points aside and say, hey, I can average 15 assists a game and just
he's more of a
feed
distributor anyway.
I got 2 points here. Minnesota's had Rubio for 4 years, I think. I think they're starting to get a little impatient with him. They're starting to think, when is this guy going to become what we thought? He's not
He's
bad.
Been battling
he's
injuries
not
too, though.
bad. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think he's what they expected because they drafted him so highly. So maybe they're getting impatient with him. Second point. Can we be honest with ourselves here? Zach LaVine is not
He
that
hasn't been
good.
putting up the numbers. He's better at the 2. If you put him at the 2, I think he scores a lot more.
People fall in love with him because when he gets on a fast break, he does a 360.
That's such a great point with like the dunk contest. I'm always amazed by that.
I love him. I hope he's on a team so he can participate in the dunk contest for the next 15 years. I think he's available
Aaron
as a
Gordon should have
backup.
won last year, by the way, just a side note. Go ahead.
He's a backup point guard in any league. Or backup.
100%.
Backup.
100%.
Backup.
Any team. Yeah.
If they want to put him
Unless
at the
you move him
2.
to the 2 and you give him a chance. I think they 100% shouldn't. Thibs is a smart guy. I think he'll do it.
Well, I think that's another thing. Like, people, especially early on in the league, get a label. Like, Blake Griffin, when he first came in, he's a dunker.
Athletic, yeah.
Now he's a dominant force in the low post. He can find open guys, stuff like
Dominant
that.
force to the assistant.
So last year was Zach LaVine's rookie year, right? Or
no, 2 years ago.
2 years? Okay. So he's still young.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree.
He can still he'll still work on everything he needs to work on. If they say, "Hey, we need you to be our 2 guard."
Don't do that. We'll pick it up.
We need you to be the 2 guard. Then I think he'll do the things he needs to do in order to do that. That's just my opinion.
Both very good points that I agree with. Go ahead.
Just one more thing on the
for sure.
Timberwolves. I agree with that. He's young. He's not even close to his prime yet. That's why I'm thinking if they move one, they move Rubio.
I agree.
He has talent. He has potential. He could start on a low-profile team, but they're just getting a little too impatient. They drafted, in my eyes, a future All-Star.
Chris Dunn.
And, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I don't think Rubio's ready to be a backup yet.
Okay.
So he's going to want to get out.
So you want Zach LaVine to start and Chris Dunn to back him up. That's your ideal lineup.
No. Zach, I agree with you guys saying Zach LaVine move to the 2.
Okay, so who starts at point guard if they move Rubio?
Chris Dunn.
Chris Dunn if he's ready.
Okay, there you go. We're at 20 minutes already, and we're at the 6th pick. And we have a lot more to cover. So we're kind of try to speed it up a little bit.
We can skip on.
They'll get a little less interesting as we keep going. Buddy Hield to New Orleans. Good for him. I didn't know he had that really sad backstory and he was super poor.
That's a solid pickup.
Great with Anthony Davis. They have a good 2 now. He can shoot.
I want to comment on the next pick.
Okay.
Buddy Hield.
Jamal-
Buddy Hield just is the best available. That was a good pick.
Yeah, for sure. We're good on that. Jamal Murray to the Nuggets.
I love Jamal Murray. I am a huge Jamal Murray fan.
Okay.
The Nuggets are terrible.
I
are not good.
Agree with that.
If they
statement.
move Fareed, they're in full rebuild mode.
Yeah.
I think
They're good. Never mind.
they might be willing to keep Fareed until the deadline to see how this works out.
I think Kenneth Fareed gets moved this year for sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
But if having a good two guard with Fareed makes some little magic, maybe not playoff ready yet, but not terrible.
Okay.
I can see Fareed maybe being happy in Denver. They make one or two more solid pickups, build a team around this Fareed and Murray, and
Don't forget Emmanuel Mudiay.
He's not bad.
Don't forget about
That
him.
was a solid pickup.
With them two, Mudiay and Jamal Murray, that could be a dangerous backcourt in about 3 to 4 years.
I agree. Yeah, 8th pick. So the Kings is Marquise Chris, traded to the Suns. Good pickup. I mean, they got two power forwards here. I guess Bender could be a center. Not much to comment on.
No.
Solid Marquise Chris.
Best available.
There you go.
Pick.
Okay.
Never heard of this dude in my life.
For
Jacob Podol.
That is not it. Is you ready for this? You ready for this pronunciation?
Oh, you get.
It's Jakob Poeltl.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Another foreign player.
He's out of Utah.
Jared, you go for it, man.
He's the best.
Yeah, not necessarily foreign. I mean, he's of foreign descent, but
Maybe not the best, but he's like a true back to the basket, low post player. He rebounds the ball like a man, which is good for these NBA teams because they don't want these 200-pound skinny guys going up for rebounds. And he can switch on pick and rolls. He's got quickness. He's a really good pickup. He'll probably back up Valanciunas in Toronto. Give him 15 minutes rookie year.
sounds good to me.
Good pickup.
Okay.
Thon Maker at 10 to the Bucks. I like this pick a lot. But at the same time, I don't, because he's the same kind of guy that they have on their team. You got Antetokounmpo. He's Antetokounmpo, little bit shorter and wider, stronger. Antetokounmpo's all just length. This Thon Maker's also very lengthy, just a little bit bigger, more of a force.
I think what they're trying to do in Milwaukee is build an identity.
I agree.
And their identity is tall and lanky.
Yep.
And that's what they're doing. I
Very
mean,
well put.
It makes it like if especially just going off their history like that, then yeah, it's a good pick. But the only question, not the only question, but the main question is how is he going to play in the NBA, because he's only played high school pretty much.
Good.
He's had like this high school
Yeah.
academy thing, but he's never really faced NBA competition like he's going to face.
Nice.
If they're going for that profile, I think the next two guys taken fit them so much better than Thon Maker. I think Sabonis or Taurean Prince.
I'm glad you know something about Taurean Prince, because I'm not.
Fit those spots so much better than Thon Maker. I'm already not a fan of him because he doesn't go to college. That makes me mad.
You did want him on the Pistons. That's on record.
At 18. At 18. Not at 10.
That's fair.
He doesn't go to college, first off. If you don't want to go to college, that's fine.
Right.
Whatever. He doesn't go to the combine. He refuses to work out for teams.
So did Ben Simmons, except for Philly. That's all I'm saying.
Because
He
he
almost
getting
didn't for
picked.
Philly. Yeah, that's true.
I just don't know how you take him with the 10th pick and you don't know who the guy is.
But
you see him playing against high school.
Like I said, potential overproduction. That's just how the NBA is.
Yeah. Okay. We're good?
Yeah.
We're good. One more thing on Thon Maker. He's there. Antetokounmpo's there. They're already talking about moving Greg Monroe. I don't see him in a Bucks uniform next season.
Thon Maker?
Greg Monroe.
Oh, Greg Monroe. I mean, I guess we'll have to...
They tried to trade him at the deadline. That didn't work out. And they've already said they want to move him.
He's for the birds.
Whoever picks him up is going to have a good pickup because he's dominant.
Yeah, he's dominant. He's got to get that superstar potential out of his head, though.
He's not on the same level of bad teammate as Boogie Cousins is, but he's getting there.
I'd put him up there.
Yeah.
Listen, man, you're not leading a team to a championship
with Greg Monroe.
He's not the centerpiece.
Stan
of your
Van knew what he was
franchise,
doing.
Okay, I mean, you need to get that through your head, Graven Rowe.
I'm sure he's listening to our podcast.
I hope so.
This is probably the most interesting one. Is Domantas Sabonis to the Magic and then immediately traded to OKC. Don't talk about the trade right now. We'll talk about that in a minute with the winners and losers. But as a player, what do you think of him and fitting in OKC?
He is the best rebounder in this draft, and it might not even be close.
Okay.
And that is maybe what the Oklahoma City Thunder needed to get out of the West.
I agree. He's not one of these like super athletic freaks that can do 360s and stuff like that, but he's
solid.
He's the type of guy that knows how to play basketball, knows how to make a move and what you're gonna do to react to it, and he's just a solid basketball player.
Him and Steven Adams in the front court is kind of scary.
I love me some Domantas
Sabonis.
I
agree.
Okay. Torian Prince, anything you to the Jazz? Anything you got?
First off, he's a solid player. The best post game interview I've ever seen.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, they lost to Yale first round. Baylor did.
Okay.
The reporter asked him, Torian, how does Yale out-rebound Baylor?
I did see that.
How does Yale out-rebound Baylor? Torian Prince
I have seen this. I have
states. They jumped up, grabbed the ball off the rim, and came down with it more than Baylor did. That's how they out-rebounded.
Yep, that's hilarious.
That is
that's
how you deal.
I've seen that.
That is how you deal with a reporter, Torian Prince, and for that, I will admire you wherever you go.
Okay, 13. I'm sorry. Anything you got, Jared?
Nothing that important.
Okay, Georgios Papagiannis.
Dude, this guy could be my
traded
uncle,
for Marquise Chris. He goes to the Kings.
I don't know who this dude is.
I think it's the best name in sports right now, other than Porzingis. Papagiannis, come on. And there's like 14 letters.
It's
man.
I mean, I don't know about this guy at all.
Okay.
Boogie's not happy about it.
Boogie isn't thrilled. Boogie's not staying in Sacramento through the 2016-17 season.
That's a topic for another day.
It sure is. Anything, Jared?
No, that's all.
And the last lottery pick here, Denzel Valentine to the Bulls.
I'm gonna try and keep the bias out of it because I do
fan,
love my Spartans,
and we are not.
But he can move to 3. He's listed as a 2 on this website I have up. He can play the 3. He's the guy that's a little bit of good at everything.
I agree.
He can rebound. He can score. He can pass. He can take it up. I mean,
agree.
Not a bad
The Bulls are not going to be a good team. He's probably going to get a lot of minutes. I like that he chose 45 because you're not going to take 23 from MJ, but you can take 45.
Yeah,
and he sure did. Jared?
This is one of the rare cases, him and Buddy Hield. Instead of potential, they pick production.
Okay.
And he got better every year. So I think they're thinking, hey, he's gonna keep getting better.
Okay.
Which is I honestly think he will be. He's got great size. He can do everything.
Now, you remember when the Pistons said they weren't in a rebuild, they were in a reboot?
Nice.
I think that's what the Bulls are going in.
Listen, man, if they trade Jimmy Butler, it's full rebuild.
That's true. But if they do hold on to Butler,
mm-hmm.
I think they're in more of a reboot because they have talent.
I agree. Okay. Side note for the Bulls, this is just a quick thing I thought of. Joakim Noah's not staying, right?
No.
There's no way. Paul Gasol's not staying, right? There's no way.
Joakim's the Knicks.
There's a better chance of Gasol staying than Noah, but I think they're both going.
So. Okay. Moving on. Same kind of little thing. Draft winners and losers. Me and Jared both have 3 of them. Whatever you want.
Biggest winner of the night?
Yep.
The Indiana Pacers.
Tell us why.
They picked up the one thing they needed to have one of the scariest starting 5s in the NBA that will go unnoticed until they're the 2 seed going into the playoffs.
Tell us about
it. That's on record, by the way.
Jeff Teague.
They're the 2 seed behind the Celtics. The Cavaliers.
The Cavaliers, of course.
Yeah.
Jeff Teague at 1.
Okay.
All-star potential. People forget...
Is he that much better than George Hill?
Yes.
I agree. Yeah. He is.
Okay.
Monte Ellis at the 2. People forget how much of a dynamic scorer Monte Ellis is.
And they also... go ahead.
Paul George...
Top
maybe the
10,
underrated...
Top 10
maybe the
NBA?
most underrated player in the NBA.
He's top 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Thaddeus Young, who will give you 15 and 6.
I forgot.
And
they
any
picked
given
up
night,
Thaddeus Young.
that was the
That's
trade.
a good
That was the
trade.
trade
I
they
forgot
made.
about that.
And then an up and coming Miles Turner
Miles-
who has nothing
He
but
just
potential.
needs to do something about the hair, and he's set. I mean,
That starting five can
Yeah.
give anyone a run for their money.
and they have Rodney Stuckey coming off the bench.
Exactly.
Are you kidding?
The thing you have to look out for
I'm
is
not serious. By the way.
there's a lot of egos, and
I agree. Oh, good point. Well,
Jeff
very well said.
Jeff Teague, when he was in Atlanta, he'd blow by everybody and score, I want to say 16, 17 a game.
Add that to Monte and Paul George.
Pretty much plays the same exact way as Monte Ellis. So those two are going to be fighting for points. And then add in Paul George. And then add in the up-and-coming Miles Turner, who's getting bigger and stronger on the post. It just got to be something to look out for.
The same thing was going on a few years back when Indiana was up in Miami's grill.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Bird's going to sit these guys down. He's one of the best front office men
I
in
agree.
the NBA. He's going to sit these
Right,
guys
sure.
down and say, look, we have a chance to do something here. And he's going to be like, put all your egos aside. Jeff, play point. Monte, do your thing, score. Paul George, be the superstar we need to rally around. Miles Turner, do what you need to do to make your name in this NBA. Thaddeus Young, give us those points that we need. He's going to sit them down and just be like, if we can put these egos behind us, we can do something here. And if they do it, I mean, there's one of two ways it can go. They do it, and they become the two
That's
seed in the
exactly.
East.
Or they barely get in.
And-
I think
yeah.
they get in regardless, but maybe
Oh.
a lower seed.
Yeah.
Frank Vogel's gone out of Indiana. Did they hire a new coach? I don't think so yet.
I'm not sure. I could look it up.
Frank Vogel's in Orlando though, and he could. Anyway, we'll talk about the winners and losers. All right, so I'll go my top three winners. You go your top three winners, and I'm gonna go losers. My number one winner, 1 and 2, is very close. Number 1 is the Sixers. I mean, they get Ben Simmons, they get better. They have a bunch of cap room, a whole bunch of cap room, $55 million or something. They get Ben Simmons, best player in the draft, and Luwawu, who at like 22 or something, very good pickup. He's not a bad player.
Yeah, I agree.
Who very well could be number 1 is the Oklahoma City Thunder, who didn't have a pick in the lottery. They traded Serge Ibaka, 1 year of Serge Ibaka, who's going to be a free agent, for Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis, which is, again, like you said, exactly what they need. And 3, the Suns didn't have a bad draft.
Nope.
They get Dragan Bender, which, regardless of what your opinions are. Marquise Chris, again, these guys are both big guys. Tyson Chandler signed a 4-year deal before last season. I don't see Tyson Chandler doing a lot anymore. I think he starts for the first portion of the season, or maybe even all season, but the next few years for Tyson Chandler aren't looking great. But that's okay. It's Tyson Chandler. He's old. He has a ring.
If he leaves, any team would be lucky to have him. He's
I agree.
He's one of those guys that just defensive
consistent.
anchor. He's the
Yeah.
definition of a defensive anchor.
Jared, hit us with your winners, unless you guys have any comments on it.
Can I comment on the Thunder?
Go for it.
The Thunder did what they needed to do to keep Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is silly to leave Oklahoma City Thunder after this.
Let's talk about that as well.
And B, they did what they needed to do to get past Golden State.
I agree.
I truthfully think if they go into a series next year, before free agency, before Golden State picks up whoever they're going to pick up, before Kevin Durant picks where he's going to go, if they go in with these rosters they have today, Oklahoma City wins maybe not even 7 games.
You mean loses, not even 7 games?
No,
But
they win not
in
again.
not
Oh,
even
oh.
in 7, maybe in 6.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Just a side note. I listened to the last podcast back, and I said Thunder are going to make a giant move at the deadline and or before. And I said, is Serge Ibaka going to get traded? And you and Bears both said no. Therefore,
You said at the deadline.
I'm right. So, Jared, go ahead.
Well, my number one winner is the Sixers too, because once in a lifetime player Ben Simmons comes out,
Yep.
you got to take him, and
Yep.
I think
Yep.
that's a great choice. And they took a few draft and stash guys, put them over in Europe, but I mean they've been doing that for a while.
Yep.
So maybe some pieces. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. And then the Suns too.
Yep.
You said Bender and you said Marquise Chris. two guys you didn't name. Scal Labassiere
Nice.
from Kentucky. He was supposed to go. He was projected to go in the lottery, but him and the guy from Davis from MSU just never went, and they picked him up late first round. That's
Deontay Davis, granted, average, I think, single digits in every
but once
stat.
again, potential. Over.
Yeah.
And then another steal, Tyler Eulis, second round.
Yeah.
Tremendous leader, point guard, gonna be a great fit.
Okay.
And then my last
Sorry,
winner, you're good. Last winner once again, Thunder, with they finally, because Serge Ibaka towards the last few years just started to become a 3-point shooter, and that's not what they needed. So they needed a guy in the low post, and that's what they got. But the only problem, what's the point? Or it's all for nothing if Kevin Durant comes back. If Kevin Durant doesn't come back, sorry.
Absolutely.
If Kevin Durant doesn't come back, the trade's pointless.
Now on to our losers.
Can I go first?
Yes.
Just I only have one. You guys have like 3
I have
each.
one.
I'm guessing that your one is going to be not my number one.
My number one probably as well.
I
Okay,
don't-
let's say it on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Boston.
Celtics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
What
Yeah.
the hell are you doing, Danny?
They didn't lose. They just didn't win.
I think they lost.
Go ahead.
With the Eastern Conference, they lost. I mean, the crappy East. It's what the hell, man? You picked about 6 or 7 guys that might not even see the court.
Yeah. So touching on that, so they get Jaylen Brown at 3, not a 3 pick. They don't trade the 3 pick for anybody, and then they get Zizic at 23. Yes, no. I don't know his first name. That might be his first name. I didn't write down both. At 23. He's staying in Croatia. It's a draft and stash guy. That's not what you need to be doing if you're the Celtics. Trade that pick and the 3 pick for. So frustrating. Go ahead.
But once again, like, you're already the 4 seed. You don't want to mess up.
I agree.
That
That's
chemistry. So maybe try and build for the future without really giving up a lot, I guess you could say. But I agree with everybody. Like, they had 8 picks and they didn't really use them that well. And like they didn't really make any noise in the draft that they had 8 picks in, and I think they were trying to make a big trade, and it just never went down. So, oh well for the Celtics, I guess.
I want to quote one of easily my favorite sports writer here, Colin Cowherd.
Okay.
Listened to his podcast the other day.
Okay.
Boston may be the most competitive sports market in the country. You got the Patriots, who are gods. The Red Sox are crazy popular in Boston.
And Fenway they're crazy good this year as well.
Exactly. Fenway sells out every single game. They like hockey for some reason.
The Bruins are good
in Boston.
Every year. Solid enough every year. They're competitive.
The Celtics, as of now, may be the most unpopular team. And to get that popularity back up, you have to make a splash. And they still have time. Free agency hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
They have time to sign Boogie. They have time to sign someone.
He's not a free agent, but...
They have time to sign someone. You need to do something to make that splash, and they drafted a bunch of guys who might not even wear the green and white.
I like it. I just have 2 more losers real quick. The Magic, of course, you get 1 year of surge for Oladipo and Sabonis. Oh, don't forget former President Ersan Ilyasova, who's more than likely going to get waived.
He might start at the 4 in the first few games. He might.
Anyway, Oladipo and Sabonis for 1 year Serge Ibaka seems a little nuts to me. And a very small loser to me was the Knicks because they didn't have a pick. So, go ahead.
Orlando got way too impatient, way too quick with the rebuild. They wanted to start very fresh on the rebuild after, 2 or 3. They just thought it was going to happen too fast. They have to...
All right.
I mean, maybe this one will work better than the last one, but Orlando... I mean, it's a nice city. They're going to have crazy cap room next year.
Okay.
I can see that being a free agent destination because it's such a nice city, but they don't have any selling points besides, hey, we have some beaches. There's not many selling points.
Question, just for the 2 of you. Do you think Aaron Gordon gets moved this year?
No.
Me neither.
I don't think
I hope not.
If
That's
he does,
their only selling
it's
point
If he
left
does, it's probably a very long match.